when I met you, I was just like, who is this woman? I saw you, I probably in the span of 2 weeks and like eight different things. And I was like, she, this girl is everywhere. Like, why does she keep popping up? And it's just so hard to miss you. You've got such a distinct personality and style. Let's get into it. Like, when I saw the afro, I was like, come on,
Yeah.
Miss King. Because, it reminds everybody of Mr. Don King back in the day. He
Yes.
had the free flowing afro. His wasn't as coiffed. So let's go there. His was freestyle for real. But I've seen you with, this beautiful afro, this expression of black girl magic, the fact that our hair continues to just rise, whether we want it to or not, right? And I think that's what we want our spirits to do. It rises. You've got the glasses. You've always wore either ties or bow ties, not bow ties, ties, or
I've done
some
some bow
kind of.
ties.
Have you done bow ties?
Yes, I have. Not so often, but you will see catch me at a bow tie. And I think I had a
Yeah.
bow tie one time when we were hanging out at some point in time together.
Probably. And we're not gonna talk about how we be hanging out in crazy places and crazy spaces, but the earrings. Okay, so tell me, we're gonna start with your eclectic style, and then we'll talk about what it is that you do today. But where does this style come from? Because so many of us are afraid of expressing our own sense of style. Where does this come from, and where does the confidence to do that come from?
I have to say this harkens back to my mom. She dresses, I think, generally speaking, pretty. First of all, both my parents are extremely well, like they're amazing at their dress, their style. Everyone
Mhm.
who meets my parents are like, your that's one of the first things that they say. Your parents are so well dressed. I mean, and they are usually dressed to the nines, even when they're casual. I don't think I've seen either one of them in a pair of jeans in my life. I mean, they're very much. My mother loves wearing dresses, and my father wears his slacks, and he has like little different hats that he wears.
Ooh,
This is in his like retirement life. So I mean, they are really dressed to the nines, even just when they're hanging out casually. My mother loves colors. Red is one of her favorite colors. Um, but I say that to
mhm.
say that in general, especially my mother's side of the family, dressing and expressing yourself through accessories and through color, through your heels, your scarves. I don't wear makeup, but my aunts wear makeup and things of that nature has always been something that was instilled, I guess, in them as a way to express who they were. And through osmosis.
Right. Whether you
Finally,
wanted to or not.
I started to kind of like experiment. Obviously, when I was younger, my mother dressed me, but eventually she allowed me to sort of play around my own style. I was much more of a tomboy. That being said, I would still
Mm,
have like shorts and sneakers that matched each other, sunglasses that always matched my outfits. I had little
yes.
afro when I was a kid, and like all a bunch of different things that I was doing and experimenting with. And I remember in high school, I was going through a phase where I loved bell bottoms, so I was wearing bell bottom pants and got out the boots and like a little beret. I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing, okay?
At all. Not the beret and bell bottoms. Come on, boo.
Yes, yes. And we'll get into this, but you mentioned that I grew up, rather upper middle class, and
Right.
so I did have like a preppy style that I enjoyed wearing. Putting on, looking like Carlton, putting on my little sweaters, and I still do that to this day. Put the sweaters over, looking little polo. It has a little
Right.
more flavor to it nowadays.
They'd
But
be
yeah,
like, who's she trying to be?
I think I've always sort of expressed myself, and I always want things to feel authentically me. And a part of that is also I never liked spending a lot of time in the salon like that. I was
Mm,
like, this is the bane of my existence, Mom. Why are we spending hours in the salon getting my hair done on a Saturday? I'm like, there's a million and one other things I could be doing.
literally.
So, okay. Um, and then like, when you were younger, sitting between your mom's legs and getting your hair done. I'm like, oh God, child. So
The tugging and the
yes,
brushing and the
yes, the whole
oh,
9 yards. So my first quote unquote lazy, I don't want to say lazy because it actually was much more to maintain than I thought it was going to be. But I was like,
mm,
I'm gonna go with locks, and I started locking my hair when I was 19, and they grew all the way down to my butt. And then after
wow.
a while, I just was like, let me cut them off, and I had like a mohawk, I had a crew cut, I had a ballsy. I mean, I did all kind of weird stuff with my hair. But then finally, I was like, I'm just gonna let it grow, and naturally, people always ask me, what do I do to make my hair this way? It naturally grows against gravity.
Oh,
um,
literally.
just naturally does that. So, in the morning I just brush it up and just call it a day. Sometimes I feel like, twisting it out at night. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just putting this satin cap on. We're calling it a day. Like,
Right.
we want
Sometimes
to
you
do
feel like a
more.
nut, sometimes you don't. Okay.
Right. Like sometimes it's going to be low maintenance. And so there are, it shapes its own self. I don't go and get it shaped and lined up, and I'm just like, this is the hair that the universe gave me, and we gonna go with it. We gonna
We
love
gonna make
it.
it
We're not
work.
changing it a bit.
She's just like, hello. This is how it's like. She's
Exactly.
just got her arms up, and
And sometimes we be fighting because I'm like, sometimes at the end of the day, I got this little piece that look just likes to fall down a little bit. I'm like, what are you doing, back piece? But it is what it is. That's what she want to do. That's what she want to do. She
well,
living her
listen. Exactly. And I think, black women have come to realize that we have a multitude of textures on the one head. Do you know what I mean? You've got areas that are softer, less
right.
kinky, less wavy, more curly, all over. So you can, girl, you're going to have that little dangly piece at the back.
It's
Because
like
that's who she is. Like, it is what it
it's
is.
gonna be there. It's just gonna be there.
I got pieces that lock better than others. And I'm like, come on,
Exactly,
y'all.
exactly.
Like,
You already know what it's like.
let's get it
My
together. I need y'all to lock at all uniformly. And they just don't,
they
and they
don't,
won't. And it's okay.
and it's okay. And I think
That's
that's like the
okay.
beauty of it, and like just letting it be natural. And people, oh, what do you do with your hair? I'm like, listen, I listen to it. I listen to what it wants. I listen to
Right.
what it's looking for. Of course, I wash, condition it, but do it with like natural products.
Nice.
Coconut oil, mango,
Hmm.
olive oil, mayonnaise mixed together. I mean, not that I'm making them, but I'm buying the products that way.
Yes. Let's
Let me
support let's support the product makers
yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. So,
and make it do what it
yeah,
do.
anything, if I see something that I can't pronounce, it's not going in the hair. It has to be the right natural.
Boom. That part. Exactly. And what I found with natural hair, because similar to you, obviously I'm in my lock journey now, and I've been here for about 7 years. But before that, it was just afro, shortcut, whatever, do what it do, bebop, doo wop.
Exactly.
And I found that it just presents itself best when it's less manipulated. So it's just like, leave me alone. That's my texture. My head, my hair is like, girl, just leave me alone. Let me do what I want to do. So I found that this was the easiest for me because don't let me wake up with a big fro, girl. By the end of the day, it's a teeny tiny one. I'm like, well, where did you go, girl? Like, she is not. She not